Hello everybody, welcome back to another short ride with the stud. This one's number 44. Wow, they're just growing and growing. This one is from the very first Continental wrestling television show that was ever recorded. It starts out by the introduction of the world champions, Ric Flair, at that time frame. And Ric Flair is going to be in a match on the show, one of the first matches on the show, on the Continental show. And wow, it's a great program. Tremendous introduction on this. Boutwell Auditorium's sold out and turned away maybe 5,000 people. There's at least 9,000 in this building. And at some points you'll hear it and you'll be able to tell. This is one of the first televisions ever filmed in a big building like this. And we went on and filmed a whole bunch of them afterward. So no need for me to talk any more about it. We're going to give you Ric Flair in a match and an introduction and the very first show of Continental Wrestling.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Continental Championship Wrestling. My thanks to my good friend Mike Jackson, and what a premier program we do have in store for you this evening. You're going to be watching the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair, in action. You're also going to be seeing the Flame. You'll be seeing the Tennessee Stud. In a Southeastern Championship match, Jimmy Gorgeous Golden going up against Austin Idol and a host of other great competitors. So by all means, do stay tuned. I can assure you of one thing. When you see the banner of Continental Championship Wrestling in the NWA, you know that you're going to see the very optimum in wrestling competition. Right now, let me bring in the NWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, a gentleman who has become a legend in his own time, Mr. Ric Flair. Rick, welcome aboard.
George, thank you very much. You have to know that when the National Wrestling Alliance and Continental Championship Wrestling put this together, you're talking about one of the biggest promotions anywhere in professional wrestling. Obviously, they wanted the number one man here, Gordon. Yep. In this case, it applied to two men. Gordon Soley to do the commentating, and the world's heavyweight champion, Ric Flair, to do the wrestling. I'm proud to be part of it, and all you people throughout the Continental Championship Wrestling scene, be used to seeing the best, the greatest stars in all of professional wrestling, and of course, the big daddy of them all, Ric Flair, whenever the price is right. Gordon,
Rick.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion 3 times over, Mr. Ric Flair. You're going to see him in this match upcoming against a very, very tough competitor, Joshua Stroud. May I point out that Mr. Flair, it puts it all on the line every time he appears on television. Should Mr. Stroud pick up a pinfall or a submission hold, Mr. Flair himself is indeed in serious trouble. Let's turn it over now to our ring announcer, Mike Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first match of the evening. Special one fall with a 15-minute time limit. First of all, the challenger, weighing in at 225 pounds from Detroit, Michigan. Would you welcome Joshua Stroud? Stroud. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent needing no introduction anywhere in the world today. He is the National Wrestling Alliance World's Heavyweight Champion. He's making his way to ringside now. He weighs in at 242 pounds. He hails from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Here is the world's champion, the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair. Flair. One fall, 15-2 time limit. Your referee for this match is Roy George.
Okay. A one-fall match now. Ric Flair going up against Joshua Stroud. Stroud, I might point out, great athlete, great background, was a draft choice of the Orlando Renegades in the United States Football League. A good close-up shot now of Flair, the world heavyweight champion. As I said, of course, in talking to Ric Flair earlier, Ric Flair puts it all on the line. And that's the thing that so many people are so pleased about, having him as the champion. He is not afraid to go out there against anyone, and should he get pinned or falls into a submission hold, he has lost a lot of prestige. He has everything to lose, nothing to gain. Joshua Stroud has everything to gain and nothing to lose. And Stroud very quickly goes in, collar and elbow, up into the ring post, and it's Flair very quickly driving a chop into Stroud, then catching him over that top rope, and Flair has Stroud at this point in time very much under control. Bringing you direct from the Boutwell Auditorium deep in Dixie, it is Ric Flair, the world champion, punishing Joshua Stroud. Stroud, of course, out of Detroit. Flair, originally from the Carolinas, now making his home in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Although he maintains a second home. Good front chancery and takedown by Flair. All right, Flair, full arm drag and twist now on Joshua Stroud. And so Stroud's got himself some problems. Referee checking carefully. Stroud either needs to get to the ring ropes or to go inside Flair and try a possible single leg pickup. Let's see what transpires here. Notice how Flair then moved inside and then did a single leg pickup on his own. A forward leg trip. Ties up his man. Flair punishing the biceps and triceps of Stroud, using that knee very effectively. Flair, who has proven to be one of the all-time greats in professional wrestling, having held the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on 3 different occasions. All right, you can hear the announcement. 5 minutes has been gone in this match thus far. Flair tried to grapevine the leg. Stroud was able to pull away from that. Stroud, by the way, great stamina, great endurance, and is particularly strong on the short bursts of energy. He does a 4.440. Stroud lashing out, and it's Flair retaliating. Knee drop by Ric Flair, the NWA World Champion, and Stroud feeling the pain in the lumbar area of the back. Good chop that puts Stroud back to the canvas once again. Flair very much in control here. Stroud may have been somewhat awed by the fact that he was facing the world champion. Deep double underhook into a vertical suplex, and Flair now using the feet very effectively into the rib cages of Joshua Stroud. Notice the excellent muscular conformation and definition on Flair. Goes into the guillotine, the standing guillotine by Ric Flair. Flair and Stroud, you can see him saying no to the referee. Not willing to concede, not willing to give up. And Flair, well, has things pretty much his own way. A great crowd here at the Boutwell Auditorium. We're coming to you direct from deep in Dixie. And it is Flair keeping the pressure on now. Goes to a lateral drop and takedown. And Stroud was able to power out of that one. Much to the pleasure of The thousands jamming the Boutwell Auditorium, and it is Stroud, a series of forearms. Flair breaks that up. Flair, another chop into the throat of Joshua Stroud. Oh, you talked about somebody who's developed. Take a look at this man, Stroud, in great physical condition. Snapmare by Flair. Flair drives the knee into the prefrontal lobe of Joshua Stroud. Hooks the far leg. And Stroud able to power out. Excellent second effort on the part of Joshua Stroud. Hip lock takedown by Flair. Has Stroud back to the canvas once again. Flair keeping the side headlock now on Joshua Stroud. Stroud, with an outstanding background in amateur athletics, both in high school and in college, decided that the Useful League was probably headed for trouble and pulled away from the Renegades and turned to his first love, and that was pro wrestling. Another backbreaker now by the champion, Ric Flair. Stroud coming up slowly. These percussions have slowed him up, and Stroud into those ropes, and Flair boots him through the ropes and onto the outside of the ring. Now you can see the definition on this man, Stroud, but he's got some problems with that right arm. Flair, a helping hand, back into the ring. Flair sets him high, vertical suplex. Flair crashes down across the chest of Joshua Stroud. And Flair getting set. He has a standard phrase. Now we go to school. Stroud trying to battle it off, but he can't as Flair goes for a perfectly executed figure four leg lock. Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, putting in a perfectly executed...
Ladies and gentlemen, in the time of 8 minutes and 6 seconds, the fall and the match goes to the National Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair.
And so, Ric Flair defeats Joshua Stroud in this opening match here on Continental Championship Wrestling. And a...
Wow, that was really good. Great match. That Stroud looked like a tremendous athlete, and and Flair took care of him as would be expected. And wow, great reaction from the crowd. Tremendous night for all of us that were involved with Continental. We got off to a great start. That first television was really, really phenomenal. And if you want to see all these long rides, if you want to take the long ride, obviously we're watching just pieces of shows. And there are so many complete shows out there now on ClassicContinentalWrestling.com. $4.99 a month to $39.99 a year. And if you subscribe, I think you'll get all the wrestling you would ever imagine. And you're going to be seeing some of the greatest that ever was. And we're going to bring you some more.